Alright guys, I'm going to give you an explanation for how to do division of line segments. So to do division of line segments, you need to know a couple of things. One, you're going to need to know your 2 points. So you have 1 point here and 1 point here. You also need to know a ratio at which they're being used. So how you go about solving this? So how you're going to do this is you're going to let x and y be the coordinates of the plot, which divides internally the line segments joining the given points. So that means if we're going to let x, let me change the color, change x and y, we need to have both one x and one y coordinate. To go about solving this, you're going to have x equaling this equation here. You have x is equal to m times x2 plus n times x1 divided by m plus n. Now the same equation can be used for y, just replacing the x's with y's. So for our solution here, we can say the following. For our m value, our m, I'll circle it in blue, is going to be our first number in the ratio here. So m is going to be equal to 2. Our n value here is going to be the other ratio of 3. And we know our x1s and x2s. So let's actually solve this. So we have our m, we know is equal to 2. What's our x2 value? Well, if this is x1, this one has to be x2. So 2 times -7 plus, what's our n value? Our n value is 3 times, what's our x1 value? Of 8. Then we're going to divide that over our m plus n. Our m is 2, our n is 3. So that's going to be our equation we're going to solve for. So we're here, all we have to do is just multiply them through. What's 2 times 7? Well, that is going to be -14. What's 3 times 8? Well, that's 24. We're going to divide that by 2 plus 3 is 5. Now, if you do -14 plus 24, you should get 10 as, or sorry, 30, 10, sorry, as your answer, divided by 5. So if you do 10 divided by 35, you get 2 as your answer. This is our x value for our line segment. Now if we do x, we also need to do our y value. Our y value is going to be the same exact equation, except replacing all these x's with our y's. So I'll rewrite the equation of m times y2 plus n times y1 divided by, again, we know this is going to be equal to 5 from before. So we have 2. What's our y2 of 4? So 2 times 4 plus 3 times our y1 of 9 divided by 5, or 3 plus 2. So how do you solve this? 2 plus 4 is 8. 3 times 9 is 27 divided by 5. 8 plus 27 is 35. So 35 divided by 5, we know y is equal to 7. So what's our coordinates that require the point to go through, well, it is 2, 7. So let's let you solve that one. We're asking to find the coordinate of the point. The next question you might be asked is how can you find the ratio at a certain axis? Now I'm going to show you both situations which you're going to be given. One of them is if you're given one of the coordinates is equal to 0. The other one is if you are given coordinates. So for the first one, we say, find the ratio in which the line segments join the points 5, -4, and 2, 3, which is divided by the x-axis. Now, being divided by the x-axis, if you look at your graph, if we have to be on the x-axis here, what would our y value always equal? Well, if you're on this line, it has to always equal 0. So we can say the following. Oops. We let the given points be A of 5, -4, and B being 2, 3, and the x-axis intersects the line segment AB at P, such that AP is the ratio of BP, which is equal to M ratioed N. This coordinate of P are the same equation as we did before, but this time we're going to be adding in our values. So if you know the y value has to be equal to 0, we can solve this by following our equation from before. We know that it has to equal 0, so we can set up our equation of m times our x2 of 2 plus n times our x1 of 5 and because we do not know m or n yet, we're going to put m plus n on the bottom here. Now we know this is equal to 0, so let's do some algebra skills first. How do we get rid of this bottom number if it's dividing? Well, we multiply by the bottom, m plus n. So it gets rid of this side, this side. What's 0 times a number? Well, you get 0. So now let's reorganize our top here. Our top now is going to be m times 2 plus n times 5 equals 0. So 2n plus, or 2m plus 5n is equal to 0. Now how can we get these numbers by themselves? We want to get one variable on the side, so we bring one over. What's the opposite of a positive 2? M is subtracting 2m from both sides. So now we're left with 5n equals -2n. And how do we go about solving this? Well, we divide each side so that they have the number on each side. So divide by -2 on this side and divide by n on here so they cancel out each other's sides. So we'll have 5 over -2 is equal to m over n. And right here, this is our ratio that you will find. Now for one of them with joining points, this time, we are given a number, we're going to follow this. So let's just say that our question, is this. Find the ratio in which the points -11, 16 is divided by the line segment joining the points -1, 2, and 4, -5. Well, for this solution, we can say the following. We can let the givens points be A of -1, 2, and B 4, -5, and the line segments of A, B. Now for this one, I like using the x values. So if we're going to use the x value, please make sure you're using the right one. If you want to use the y values, you'll be using negative 16, or you'll be using 16, my bad. If you're using the x values, you'll be using negative 11. So I'm going to use the x values of negative 11, the same as the x values listed up here. So again, we're going to write our equation from before. This time it's be negative 11 is equal to our m times 4, because it's our x2, plus n times negative 1 over m plus n. Now again, the first step is how do we get rid of this? Well, we have to multiply by it. So we multiply by m plus n on both sides. So now rewriting our equation, we have negative 11 times m plus n is equal to 4m plus negative 1n. Now, if you remember from chemistry, what we do here is we have to distribute the 11 through both the m and the n. So we'll have negative 11m minus 11n is equal to 4m plus negative 1n. So now how do we get, we want to get the variables on both sides. So how do we do that? Well, we could add 11 to this side and subtract 4 to this side to get them both equal. So we'll have the following equation. We will have 11, negative 11m plus 4m is equal to 11m plus 1n. So when we do this, what do we get? Oh, sorry, this should be a negative 4 here. My bad. Negative 4. Subtracting the 4 over. So we have negative 15m equal to 10n. So now we need to get we're going to divide by n first to get rid of these. So now you have negative 15 times m divided by n is equal to 10. Now how do we get rid of a negative 15 that's multiplied by m? Well, we divide by negative 15 from this side. So now we have mn, which is the ratio we want, is equal to 10 divided by negative 15. Now if you want to stop here, I will take this answer. But the more correct answer is simplifying it. Well, it's 10/15. Well, that's 2/3. Negative 2/3. So hopefully you guys found this video as helpful. If you have more questions, please feel free to email me. I'll be more than happy to answer them. In any case, have a great day, and hope to hear from you guys soon.